Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all of you. Okay, so again we meet in another tutorial video in another lecture, and in this video it is about still on assessment 3, that is the group discussion or the role play. Okay, that is assessment 3. So in this video I am going to take you a little bit about interpersonal communication style. So before this, in the previous video, I have explained about the format of the test and also the issues, how to choose the issue, how to conduct the literature search, and then coming up and deciding on the issues. And this time around, about interpersonal communication style, on how are you going to conduct yourself during the group discussion, during the role play. Okay, so we start. What is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication means skills that people use to interact and communicate with each other in an organizational environment. So how you interact with you as a person with another person is what we call interpersonal communication. So regardless of your industry, interpersonal skills such as being able to effectively communicate are necessary. So this is a very high demand skill. It's a very important, crucial skill that is going to give you advantage if you have the positive interpersonal communication style. Okay, so why is interpersonal communication important? So first, it is to foster good relationship, the relationship between you and also other colleagues, your other friends at the workplace. Okay, next, it is to make you relatable so that people can understand you easily, so people can communicate and convey messages to you clearly. It is also to to enhance trust between one person to another. So if you have a person who you think communicate clearly, has nothing to hide, perhaps that could encourage trust from others as compared to a person who doesn't know how to communicate their messages. People find these kind of people are more difficult to trust. Okay, next, it is important because it keep the feedback loop open. So if you are the person who is easier to talk to, easier to communicate with, people will keep on giving you feedback because they know that you can handle criticism well, that you can take advices, that you can follow instructions. So it's easier for you to get feedback as compared to the kind of people who is difficult to discuss with. Okay, so we don't want to give them feedback. We are afraid that they might take the message wrongly. Okay, so they might get offended if you give them advice or if you critique their work, right? So next, it is important because it demonstrates social awareness. So when you are aware with what is happening around you socially, then it demonstrates having a good communication style is very important. It is also to maintain personal relationships. So you don't want to have we all like to have friends. We don't like to make enemies, especially at the workplace. You don't want to have enemies at the workplace. It's okay not to have a lot of friends, but obviously it's not okay to have a lot of enemies. So how to make friends, how to foster good relationship, it's by having good communication skills. And also it expands the opportunities. So if you are a person who is easier to talk to, then people can give you more responsibility. They can actually give they wanted to ask you to be on their team, to complete tasks. So this can expand the opportunity for you to go further in your career. It is also to it can increase client satisfaction. So if you are in an industry where you are working with a client, for example, services industry, a lot of industries dealing with client. If you have good communication skill, then obviously you are going to get good positive feedbacks from the client, from the customers, so then your business obviously can grow. And last but not least, it also makes you an effective leader. So a leader is very important, is a person who has a good effective interpersonal communication skills. Alright. Okay, so next, here are some of interpersonal communication styles. So what are the styles? So these are some of the styles that is going to be covered in this lecture. First is cooperative, collaborative versus confrontational. Okay, direct, indirect communication, positive, negative communication, critical and neutral communication. So why is it important for you to understand interpersonal communication style? First, it is to help you to understand the different culture of the society, workplace, or even individual better. And it also helps to avoid intense conflict that may occur if two parties are unaware of the other's communication style. So this is not only to further yourself, to make yourself grow, develop yourself, to enhance your own personal skills, but it is also to be able to avoid conflicts that may occur due to misunderstanding and also miscommunication. So if you understand your own working, your own communication style, and then you also know the type of communication style display by your other friends at the workplace, your other colleagues, then it's easier for you to adapt yourself in that situation, okay, communicating with them. So later on, the communication style discussed in this lecture, you can actually try to implement them in your role play, in your group discussion later. Okay. Alright, now first one is cooperative and collaborative style. So it focuses on finding a compromise that will make all parties feel as if they managed to get what they want. So you compromise. For example, me as the lecturer and you as the student, and we are supposed to have a test, for example, next week. But since you are quite preoccupied with other programs, with other subjects as well, maybe we can find other dates. So that is what we call compromise. Okay, the goal of this communication style is to make all parties feel comfortable in expressing their point of view. Okay, so compromising when you think that other people can actually tolerate, can consider all of the possibilities, so it's easier for you to express yourself more, okay, and you are more comfortable. So this style compared to the opposite of it is confrontational style. Interaction that tends to anger, create unnecessary conflict, and damage relationships at home and at work. So if you watch the drama, it's Malay drama or Korean drama, there's you can see that the people who has confrontational style, they always wanted to create anger, they always wanted to try to create conflict, and it involves a wide range of common words and phrases that include language that implies the speaker is better than others. Okay, language that demeans, they undermine other people, or what makes you better than me? Who are you? Who are you to tell me this? Who are you to give me instruction? Things like that. Or expresses lack of interest, such as okay, I am better than this, I have this, I have a high qualification, I don't do jobs as like you ask me to do. Ways of offering unwelcome and unsolicited advice. Again, who are you to give me advice? How many years have you worked here? Do you have a lot of experience? Do you think that you are better than me? All those phrases that can actually create conflict. Alright, next, Okay, so the next style is direct communication style. Saying things directly as well as efficiency in communication are highly valued. So we value, a lot of people value people who can say things directly, direct. They don't beat around the bush. They don't give clues or hidden meanings, right? Can be a higher priority than personal or political sensitivities, especially in a business setting. Okay, saying no or I don't know is considered both honest and respectful. So if you don't want to do something, if you want to refuse something, you just have to say directly no. Or if people ask you about a certain information and you don't have the information, you can directly say I don't know. But what people tend to do is they create something, just to save face. They don't want people to see them as dumb, that they don't know anything, so they will try and then create something when people ask them for some information. Okay, problems are felt to be solved more rapidly if open and frank discussion is encouraged. So if the working environment encourages direct communication, then a lot of miscommunication can actually be avoided. Okay, this is the opposite of direct communication, indirect communication style. Directly communicating negative information is seen as impolite and crude, even in a business setting. So when you have bad news or negative information, you cannot use the direct communication style in delivering the message. So it is considered as impolite and crude even in business setting. So you need to have a certain way to layer the information, and polite excuses, evasions, or diplomatic strategies with which both parties usually know and recognize are the accepted practice. So if you have anything that is the negative for you to tell, bad news for example, you need to use the polite or the diplomatic strategy, okay, to deliver the news or the message. Okay, next is the positive communication style as compared to the negative communication style. Positive communication, communicators who approach communication in a positive style appear calm when interacting with their communication partners, even in high stress situation. This demeanor often provides reassurance to their partners because they do not appear anxious and can make others feel comfortable. So when you are in a duress, when you are in a stressful situation, if there's one person who can actually staying calm, maintaining their tone, this person can actually make other people feel comfortable and they can feel safe in that stressful situation. Positive communicators speak in a natural but confident manner and do not seem to be nervous when observed by communication partners. Alright, so next, the opposite is negative communication style. A person with negative communication skills is not pleasant to have a conversation with. They may speak too loudly or too softly and do not pay attention to the other person. Alright, okay, so we don't like these people. We don't like them at all. The content of their conversation may be selfish. Usually it's about them. So if they are talking about themselves, then yes, we have to listen. But once we talk about ourselves, our problem, then they stop listening. Okay, selfish, pretentious, or dishonest. People with negative verbal communication skills are not good listeners and may be impatient or interrupt others during conversation. Okay, so you have sometimes, yes, in an organization, even sometimes in our life, the people around us, the people who is close to us, probably we have this kind of person, right? Okay, next is critical communication as compared to neutral communication style. Critical communication, these are the people who are able to speak and listen effectively. They are very critical, so they listen to every single thing, every single word that you say, including your intonation, what are the things that you say as compared to the usual things that you mentioned before. Okay, the golden rule is talk less and listen more. So if you know people who is, they listen more, they are the kind of observer, they can be critical. It is important for a critical communicator to listen to the needs of the receiver, so he or she can understand how to solve the need and purpose. So this is very important, isn't it? Especially if you are the leader, if you are the head of the department. They are observant and normally pay extra attention to the body language and what is in their environment. They are able to react to how the receiver is acting. Notice what is around them and pick up on something in their workspace. So they are very aware, they are very sensitive, they are very critical. For example, you are telling them problems, they will pay attention to the tone of voice, to how you express yourself, your facial expression, the wardrobe that you wear. Is there any difference as compared to the day before? Okay, so these all are sending messages. As compared to neutral communication style, they do not offer diplomatic point of view of an issue. It conveys indifferent to the other, while empathy involves understanding, appreciating the other's feelings. Neutral communicator is threatening to the hearer's self-worth. Okay, empathic communication confirms and validates the concerns of the hearer. So if you come across a neutral communicator, usually when you tell them about your problem, when you want to express your concerns, for example, they have no response. They have no opinion. When you ask them, okay, what is your opinion? They don't have anything. Or when you ask them, okay, which side do you agree on? They don't offer you anything. So this is the person who is like neutral. And when you are dealing with this kind of communicator, it's not good. It's not good for the environment, for the social setting. Okay, all right, so avoid become this kind of communicator. Alright, so all in all, based on the lecture before this, as a conclusion for our topic this time around, that is the communication style, interpersonal communication style, it can be concluded that knowing and choosing the appropriate communication styles in the workplace is crucial. Having excellent interpersonal skills greatly influence group performance and effectiveness of teamwork in the workplace. And good interpersonal skills are held with high regard in the workplace, and being able to demonstrate them will help a worker be an asset to his or her organization. So when you wanted to plan for the group discussion, you have to consider the type of communication style that you want to apply and adapt into the character, into the role that you are playing. Okay, alright, so I think that is all. Thank you very much, and I will see you again in my next video. Alright, so have fun with the role play, and I wish you all the best. Alright.